Welcome back to the Golden Spoon. This is Jeremy.
Hey, and I'm McCall.
What were we going to talk about?
Today, tonight, or tomorrow, whatever. Memory is fading.
Memory. Yeah, memory. Yeah.
There we go.
That's what we're going to talk about.
The memory was fading, huh?
I forgot. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we're gonna talk. Man, I got a cold blast of air all of a sudden. Sorry, y'all. We're gonna talk about.
It was a ghost.
Yeah, I think it was. Either my soul left my body or another soul entered my body. One of the two.
We'll find out later.
We are not going to talk about ghost. We're going to talk about memory. We'll do a ghost episode another time. But yeah, we're going to talk about memory. And I can't actually remember all the stuff we're going to talk about, but we're going to talk about like how to help your memory, how to remember certain tasks, and to help you complete those. And yeah, we'll remember a lot more as we go.
Yeah, you ready to dig into it?
I am.
All right. So the crazy thing is that our brain can store things and have these vivid memories of like when you were younger and things like that, or things that happened. And you know, the line, one of my favorite lines is, I can't even remember what I had for breakfast. It's one of my favorite lines.
I can't remember what I had for breakfast because I always eat these two little tiny sausage biscuits. I microwave them in the microwave and put a little mustard on them.
Oh God, yeah.
And that's it. I've been eating that for like 3 to 4 months now. Been staying on a budget.
Balling on a budget.
Yep. Sausage biscuit, little tiny sausage biscuits in the morning, because it costs like $10 for a 20 pack. So that lasts me. And then make me a little turkey sandwich for lunch. And a granola bar. A little mid-morning snack. And then I eat my turkey sandwich for lunch.
And coffee to fill in all the other bits.
Oh yeah, probably about three to four pots of coffee throughout the day. Not cups, pots. It's good for the...
Not the memory. Maybe, no. I don't know.
Coffee does have some benefits. We need to do an episode on coffee.
We will. There are good scientific
When I quit
facts.
alcohol, I really became a coffee connoisseur and did a lot of research and on beans and all kinds of stuff. And there's a lot of health benefits. If you drink it at the right time, there's a lot of health benefits to coffee.
Yeah, we'll definitely put a poll out there and see if people want a coffee episode, because coffee definitely boosts my mood when I drink coffee. So
sometimes it makes me sleepy. It's weird. I got some really high caffeinated coffee. I put my Keurig, and I was really excited about it. I'm not going to mention the brand. It's good coffee. It's real strong, but I drank it and I wanted to take a nap. It was crazy. I was like, I don't have any energy at all.
Wow.
So yeah, there's that. Okay, so back on.
So we can figure from that, from what you just said. Does ADHD or ADD play a part in trying to remember?
Yeah.
Do you ever get... I know plenty of people who get sidetracked, like they're thinking of something and they'll start to say something and then boom, they get sidetracked. And then when they come back to try to remember what they were talking about, they can't. And I think it has to do a little bit with like ADHD that'll throw them off, because they'll have to say what they can think about right then and there. And then when they come back to the other topic, they're like, well, I can't remember what was going to be said, or what I was going to say, and why I was going to say it.
What's crazy about people with ADHD, which I am not diagnosed ADHD, but so there's a lot of people that can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like they have to try to always stay focused on a conversation, because they have already finished your conversation in their head, and started like 3 or 4 more and are thinking about those at the same time while you're just sitting there talking. So they have the ability to like fill in the gaps of your story, and they get really bored with it. It's not like a mean thing. It's just how their brain operates. And so to keep like an ADHD person interested in a conversation, keep it short, sweet, simple, dramatic, and like just to the point. If you're sitting there trying to tell a story like an old grandpa and like give all the little details and everything, you've lost them.
Oh, hell.
And there's nothing. I mean, I don't have anything against that. I don't. I mean, I love people with ADHD. I'm not calling them out or anything. I just, I see that.
I meant all hell because I tell the long drawn out grandpa stories.
Oh yeah, I do too. I put way too much detail in a story. I even catch myself in a story, and I'm just like, I shouldn't have said that. Like I say that in my head. I'm like, that was totally irrelevant. It's not going to be a part of the story.
So how does your or what problems do you have with your memory? Because I know you're like, I can't remember what I was trying to remember or talk about. Or so what helps you with like keeping track of things that you want to say?
Still working on that. Still working on that. As far as like conversation, if I'm conversing with
if
someone,
you're conversating with somebody
or with a group, I have to constantly repeat the thing that I'm going to say in my head. If not, I'll lose it. So sometimes it's kind of rude because I don't fully comprehend, or I'm not listening to what the other person's currently saying, because I'm wanting to say a response to the guy before him that said something. I'm like, ooh, I got something really good to say. So I'll keep repeating it in my head. But the guy that's currently talking about something, I'm not even paying attention to him because I'm having to repeat it to myself. And then I finally say what I have to say. And they're like, we were done talking about that like 5 minutes ago.
But you still wanted to, you still wanted
I wanted to get my point out.
Right. With memory with me, I know my short-term memory is shit, like complete shit, because I'm like, I'll have to write something down. If I do not write something down, it'll be lost. It'll be lost to the void. Like everything that's in my mind and all the things that I'm thinking about, it'll be lost. So I have to sit there and write down, whether it be a topic or an idea or something that I'm trying to get out of my head. I have to sit there and write it down, or I will just forget it. Now, my long-term memory is pretty sharp because everybody's like, so what happened on this day? Like when people are asking me family history events and such, they always want like come to me and ask me, hey, what happened here? Who was there? Why did this happen? And I can pull it up pretty quick. But with short-term memory, I'm just like, I can't remember that, so I have to jot it down. I'm like, please jot it down, McCall, or you'll forget.
I have a huge problem with both. It's terrible.
With short-term and long-term memory?
Yeah. I can't remember like what I did when I was a kid or what I did 3 years ago. I can't remember what I did yesterday. I could barely remember what we did, what we talked about just an hour ago. I mean, it's crazy. And I think a lot of it has to do, there's some part to do with the abuse that I put my body and brain through. But I think some of it, because I talk to other people that take psych meds.
Right.
I think psych meds has a lot to do with it, and especially the ones that I'm on. It affects your memory a lot. And plus, especially when a bipolar person, for instance, is going through an episode, because, everything's firing off of chemicals and neurons and everything in your brain and, electrical pulses and all that scientific stuff. That's what's going on normally. And all that's just like stimulated whenever you're going through an episode. So things get blocked out, like certain cortexes or whatever. I don't know all the technical terms, but the part that your brain uses for memory just gets blocked whenever you're in the middle of a manic or depressive, mainly a manic episode.
Yeah, your manic episodes usually
you don't remember what you did
with everything.
Yeah, if someone came up and gave you $1 million, you wouldn't remember where you put it because that's how crazy your memory gets, just foggy in the middle of a manic episode.
That's pretty wild to think about. That
it's kind of like being drunk. I mean, it's not the benefits of being drunk. You don't feel drunk. You're not. I mean, you are like high, like elevated, like you feel like you're on top of the world type of feeling, like euphoric. But it's not like a high feeling or anything. But it is kind of like being blacked out. Like, people are telling you what you did. People are like, oh yeah, you're driving for 2 hours, and you're like, I don't even remember cranking my car up. Like, it's crazy. Fortunately, I don't go through extreme ones like that anymore. I have little mild ones because I'm medicated.
And that's good, yeah.
But, I mean, they still, the medication only does so much.
Right, and it can only do so much, but, at least you're still, doing your regimen and trying to get better and doing those little things,
Like you said, though, like writing down, that's a key thing. I would suggest people with mental illness, get you a little notepad you can keep in your pocket. If you don't have pockets, maybe get a pocket. And
so a little pocket.
Yeah, and just write down like small stuff like take out the trash or check the mail, brush your teeth. Start with this
missed call from this person. I need to call them back.
And then actually mark it out when you do it. Not just like rip out the piece of paper and then throw it away. Leave it in the notepad. Mark a line through it because one, you completed a task, and then two, you get the satisfaction of marking through a task. And then when you leave it in there, you have references to go back to. I'm like, oh man, when you're in those depressed moments, you can go back and look and be like, hey, I did that. Look how many times I took a shower that day, or like, hey, look, the bills that I paid or whatever. I picked up my kid from school. I remembered that I had kids. Like, you can like you can see how far you've progressed through a year.
I remember that I had kids.
Yeah.
I remember that I had a dog and he's around somewhere. Yeah.
I remember where my work was. Sometimes I catch myself driving to an old work.
You're just like you're there and
muscle memory,
mm-hmm.
And you're just like, oh man, I got off the wrong exit.
I got to go up another one. So, when people ask you, like, because when your family members ask you things, and y'all are all trying to recall what happened, do you ever feel like you shouldn't answer or?
Oh yeah, I just sit those out.
Because
I sit on the sidelines on that one.
Because you're like, I don't think I'm gonna give a good representation of what happened.
My 2 cents is not going to change the story.
Really?
Yeah. They're going to be like, I don't think that happened. I'm like, you're probably right.
So that's like a memory mistaken.
Yeah.
So I try and listen to what they're going to say, and if I can remember small details or big details, I try to give them. But sometimes I'll just listen and see where the conversation goes to try to, get in that place, and also try to put myself back in, that event to try to relive it out. And that's hard sometimes to try to put yourself back in it could be a bad memory, and you're trying to remember what happened and actually grasp or gauge.
I thought everybody did that.
No, I don't know if everybody does. I try to do that.
I have to. I'm a visual person,
right?
So I have to put myself back in that position and try to envision what I was doing. I couldn't go no more. It's old Eminem song.
I know you were trying to.
I wanted to keep singing it.
Oh my god!
But yeah, like you said, even in a bad situation, it's cringy. It makes you anxious. It makes your blood pressure rush. Gives you that flush feeling. But when you're trying to remember something, you have to put yourself physically back in it. Not like physically, like literally.
Goes back to the place and
just like picture your actual physical body there. and then you have to like relive that situation. It's almost like going back into another room to remember what you went into that other room for.
Man, I find a lot of people in my family do that. They'll come back into the room and be like, I was just in here and going to do something.
Mm-hmm.
What was I going to do? And I was like,
It helps for some reason.
well, I'm like, I can sit here and do what I was doing, and hopefully that might jog your memory, because I don't have your memory.
Nose. I guess I'll start picking my nose again. Does that help?
I'll start eating the cereal again. Let me pour another bowl.
I was eating a steak. Hang on, I'll go to the store and get me another steak. If that helps.
Just cook you another steak, and by the time you get back, hopefully they will have remembered, you know?
Yeah.
So what are other situations where you feel your memory fails?
When I'm being interviewed by a detective. I'm just kidding.
How often do you have that happen?
Never. I've never been interviewed by a detective.
The guy was wearing a blue shirt and gray shoes, and
He's in a spaceship.
oh, that was a Tesla. Oh,
He had 6 arms, 4 feet.
4 feet tall.
Yeah. No, 4-foot officer.
Oh, okay.
Problems I have remembering would be grocery stores.
Grocery stores.
I write a list. I'm an old man now. I
Yeah.
write a old list.
Well, I saw you in the grocery store that other day, and you were like, "Man, I forgot my list. I have
did.
no idea what I'm trying to get."
And I spent so much more time in there and spent way too much money because I didn't have my list. Because if I have my list, I remember exactly what it is I need. It's not a wasted trip, because sometimes if you go and you're like, oh yeah, I remember everything, and you get back home and you forgot the one. It cannot be like that important. It could be like a box of Ziploc bags or something for your sandwiches for the week. But it's pretty important.
That's gonna piss you off.
Yeah. And then you're like, dang, I bought 6 packs of muffins and 2 gallons of milk for some reason and didn't get my Ziploc bags. So I used to put a list on my phone. I don't even do that anymore. I write it all down on a notepad and take it in there with my little ink pen, looking like an old person. I feel like I'm the only person in the store that does that now. I'm the only one I see, at least, walking around with a piece of paper and a pen, marking stuff out as I put them in a grocery cart.
No, bro. When I make my gumbo, I have to have a list. I'm like
See,
onion, celery, bell
even
pepper.
something that you've cooked a lot, it still helps to make a list.
I'm like, I don't want to forget the garlic and not have a Cajun dish not have enough garlic in it. You know,
Yeah.
it'd be terrible.
I mean, can you imagine if a surgeon didn't write down what he was going to do with his patient? And you cut out the wrong organ? Or when they trace on the body, which leg to amputate, that's the equivalent of making a list. If they don't make a mark on the right leg, and it is go in there, especially when they have 2 surgeries back to back, and one guy needs his left leg removed and the other one needs his right leg. And then they both come out with the wrong legs. What you going to do then? You're going to lose your practice. You're like, I don't have to worry about that. I'm not a doctor.
That's not me. Thank God.
That's why I didn't go into doc school.
Now, I know you just mentioned it, but I know I've said technology sucks, and sometimes it can be the biggest, worst thing in mental health, because it kind of just spews what people don't have, or what people can't do. But sometimes your cell phone can come in handy. There are little games and things like that you can pray.
You can
pray for your memory. Yeah, little games you can play. Even I know you said everybody in the grocery store writes down, things on their phone and crosses it out as they go. But even if you didn't have a list, a piece of pen, Jesus, Mary and Joseph, a piece of paper and a pen to write stuff down on, you can still put it on your phone and be dandy.
Or write it on your hand.
I mean, that is the last ditch, option if you didn't have a phone.
Remember you used to write stuff on your hand and draw all the time when you were a kid?
Hey, you remembered something.
I did, yeah. I remember doing that. Totally irrelevant to what I need to do in life right now, but For some reason, I get on my kid, like they'll ride on their leg or something. I'm like, don't do that. It's really bad for your skin. And one of my kids just 2 days ago, I was like, don't do that. It's really bad for your skin. And they're like, what about tattoos? Are tattoos good for your skin? And I'm like, probably not. And they're like, well, why do you got like 6 or 7 of them then? I'm like,
And you're like,
foot, insert mouth.
Foot in mouth. Thank you. Cool.
It's like, go ahead and draw on yourself then, I guess.
It's like,
it's better than getting ink permanently injected into your skin.
Make yourself a Picasso then.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Speaking of that, I want another tattoo.
You know, that sounds like a fantastic idea.
It's an expensive idea, but yeah.
It is an expensive idea.
Unless we have some fans out there that would love just to tattoo somebody for a reasonable cost.
You know, yeah. I
Wink,
mean,
wink.
if you're out
possibly
there
for free, hit me up. Call me at 2. I'm just kidding.
no. Puts his number straight out there.
Yeah. Or someone else that I really don't like.
Goes back and listens to it. It's like, oh, I remember I did that.
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding. Could have been a bunch of it.
Well, that was trippy. Don't.
Oh, that was weird.
Scaring me now, Jeremy. You scaring me.
That is scary.
You scared me. That's.
Someone just sent me a message asking if I could tattoo them, and I'm like, I don't do tattoos. I need a tattoo. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Also, cell phones.
I think it was a med reminder.
Oh, that's good.
Because my phone thinks I'm crazy.
Hey, but that's one of your reminders to remind you to take your meds.
That's a good point. Thank you, phone. That's another thing that people could not only just for mental health. I feel like we've talked about this in a podcast before. Not only just mental health, but for any other type of condition you have.
Yeah, this podcast.
You could set reminders for taking your medication, because there's some people, if you don't take it, you're unalive. So that's not good. And for our others, like me, if I don't take it,
you'll go into
end up in the hospital eventually.
You'd have to get very manic to do that. But
I miss those days.
You can remember those days?
I said I miss those days.
Oh, okay.
Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm healthier now.
I know one person that even though they have, it's not you, but even though they have a reminder on their phone, they will just let the reminder go and be like, oh, I didn't take my morning meds. It's 3:00 in the afternoon. I guess I'll take my morning meds. And
at least they're trying.
They are trying, and I love that person for trying. But it's like,
there's some people out there that just don't even want to be medicated.
And we're trying to help those people too.
Yeah. So take your meds, people.
So the phone also, your cell phone can also record and take photos to help you remember as well. I find myself taking pictures of places and things like where I want to go visit, or saving pictures of places I want to go visit, so I can click on that and be like, oh yeah, I want to go see that and be there. Or, oh, that's something that I need to buy for a birthday present or something, a nice gift for somebody. I'm like, oh yeah, they said they like that, so I can go buy that.
This is totally off the wall, and I feel like we can talk more about this in another episode. But you ever wonder about, like, if you died right now?
I wonder that all the time.
What would happen when they went through your phone? Like, people have had their phones now for so long. Their albums are so big. Their messages are so long.
Also,
like,
that.
Their conversations, their contacts, search histories, everything.
Thank God my phone has a memory for that as well.
Does it have an auto wipe sequence or something?
No. I'm just saying it has a lot of memory. So.
Oh, yeah.
So whatever the hell I have put on that thing.
I'm just talking about when you took a picture of the rock on your driveway because you thought it was a turd or something. Like,
I love where you wanted to go because I could read your eyes, but I was trying to think of something. You saved it. You heard it. You said the rock.
Yeah. Like any random picture that's in your photo album People are like, why in the world did he
is
take a
this here?
picture of a screw head? Like, was he trying to figure out if it was Phillips head or like socket head? Like, why?
Yeah, why is
picture?
there a
Like, I got a picture of my
blade?
old work of like welding stuff and like conveyors and everything. People are gonna be like, is this guy obsessed with conveyors?
Why does this person have a picture of sunsets just every like? Because I'm always driving.
Was he preparing to die? Guy was taking pictures of sunsets every day.
It's like, man,
So depressing.
last sunset.
Yeah, I gotta take a picture of this one. May not wake up tomorrow. Like, you can see the phone tomorrow if you're dead. You wouldn't be able to see it anyway.
You wouldn't even be able to remember it. You'd be gone. You would just be.
See, people, what's the reason of all these selfies when you ain't gonna be able to take them with you?
It's for other people to remember. So when they pick up
true. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, we just talked about that. I couldn't remember.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway.
Yeah, so when somebody picks up your phone when you die, later on in life, we're not saying now, but later on in life, they can remember you too and all the stupid ass selfies that you've taken. And I know I've taken some stupid ass selfies, but it's fine. It's fine.
I'm pretty sure I don't think I deleted it. I took pictures of I was trying to see if I had a really long nose hair, and I was trying to take a picture straight up my nose with the flash on and stuff. I mean, or trying to take a picture of the inside of your ear and you're by yourself.
Or you have a lie bump or something, or you're trying to look at your teeth or something like that, and you're like, what is that? Or taking a picture of your eye. People are gonna open the phone and be like, why are there 8 pictures of this guy's eye?
Hey, taking a picture of your eye is pretty fun.
Yeah, blinding yourself.
No, I mean just
flash
looking at the
on.
picture, you're like, God, my eye's so in depth. You zoom
so
into
beautiful.
it. My eyes.
Oh my goodness. I think we've had a little fun episode about memory and some things you can do if you want to improve your memory with a list or writing things down, typing things down on your cell phone, or carrying a pad and a pen, and maybe. What was that?
Did you hear that?
Yeah. Was that your? Okay, I thought you snapped a freaking.
Did you hear it through your headset?
Yeah, I did.
Sorry, y'all. Got a little distracted over here.
I was like, did he crack his knuckle or something? I was like, or his ear? Because I couldn't see your hand or your ear, so I was like, he took his headphone off and cracked his ear. Bro's wild. He's wild.
I saw that one time on a chiropractor short. He popped his ear.
Don't do that to me.
I didn't know you can pop your ear, but apparently it's possible.
Don't do it. That was nice.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
I don't know what I would have done. I would have looked through your phone if you would have died and remembered you through your pictures.
I really do think that's how I'm going to go out, popping my neck, because people are just like, you're getting way too loose with that. Like, you're going pretty far now. And I'm like, yeah. There's got to be a point where you hit a certain nerve or blood vessel or something. It feels so good, though.
Well, I will remember you.
Yeah.
But
don't put that on my tombstone, though. Died of neck popping.
I don't think I would be in charge of that.
Do something cool, like died of a herd of penguins or something. And put me on Mount Everest, too.
I will not encapsulate. I will not drag your body up to Mount Everest. That's
as a landmark.
That's $70,000 that I don't have to take.
Speaking of that, there are people on Mount Everest that are still there. They left the bodies there as landmarkers. I was taught something new today. I'll probably remember. That is the one thing I'll probably remember for 10 years now. Is
that I
the
taught
dead
you
people on
about,
Mount Everest?
That I taught you about the dead people on Mount Everest.
Yeah.
Well, they're memorialized basically up there. I mean, they use dead people as markers. Old Green Boots is up there, and he's a marker. I mean,
Green Boots.
He died in 93, and he's still up there. He's about to hit 93, 03, 03, 13 to 20. He's about to hit his 20-year mark on his death. Yeah.
It's time for him to come down.
That guy from 1924 is still up there, Jeremy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's been there a while.
He's about to hit his 100-year mark on Everest.
body's been up there for. I mean, I know there's been like mummies and stuff and pyramids and all that, but that guy's body's been on Everest.
But it's been preserved, yeah, by the
for
cold.
100 years.
Yeah.
Almost. Man, we got way off topic.
Addison.
Sorry, y'all.
Hey, we just remembered
Thank
we
you
got
all for joining in.
Yeah, thank you for listening to the Golden Spoon. We like to have a good time here, and when we remember our topic, we dive right back into it. But thank you for enjoying and appreciating the podcast. To all of you people who listen, go subscribe to our YouTube if you want some extra footage of us.
And remember to subscribe to Patreon.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, if you want some extra,
the memory thing in there.
You good. If you want some extra content, go to Patreon. Pick a plan. $5 will get you all the nitty gritty that we put out.
The pickle plan?
No, the $5 plan.
Oh, I thought you said pickle plan.
Pick
a plan. Let's say, man, we call it a plan of pickles. I love pickles.
Man, I love pickles.
We should do an episode of distractions.
We will, hopefully. And if you haven't already, comment whatever you want to listen to next. We'll look at all the comments. Nobody has commented on things yet, but if you'll comment.
What are you talking about? We got all kind of comments.
I get comments in person from all the beautiful people that listen to the podcast. So make sure to hits the button. You know, if you comment to me in real life, you can comment on a post. I would appreciate it. Jeremy would too, I know.
I would.
And
stay awake at night.
We'll talk to you next time. Thank you for listening to the Golden Spoon Podcast. I'm McCall.
And I'm Jeremy.
All right.